All right, hello, hello, hello. This is Defy Tyranny coming at you. It's September 26th, 2022. It's been a week or so since I've updated or anything. I apologize for that, but there just hasn't been much action. It's been kind of the same old, but what we saw today was the Dixie really go on a big run. The Dixie is the US dollar. It has not been this strong since the dot-com bubble, basically 20 years, 2000, 2001. Even it wasn't even this strong in 2008 in the big financial collapse. Pretty amazing to me. This was 2008 right here. We're worth double or triple those valuations. Almost double. We're at 1.2, almost 112. It was at 86 then. But anyway, not really even sure what those numbers mean. But it's measuring the power of the U.S. dollar against other currencies and other valuations. But we got a huge spike today, and to me, this is likely going to be a top. Maybe we go for 120. Regardless, I could see this doji probably coming down and creating a gravestone, and we come on down. Like, look at that, and that looks like a crypto. That looks like a meme crypto. But look at it's almost an extension of this. And if this was a bull flag, a very long bull flag, generally bull flags will mimic that move once more, and that's about the same amount of price action. So it just makes sense to me that this was probably it. Maybe we get one more little bounce up. Regardless, once that dollar is done, everything else is going to start consolidating and running more than likely. And if we do go into some kind of recession, which I think we're already in a recession, I guess the big players are probably going to be gold, silver, and Bitcoin. There's also speculation to think that other cryptos will do well, especially cryptos that give earnings and rewards, staking rewards, that kind of thing. This has been a brutal sell-off. Everything over the last year has been pretty much induced by the Fed taking away money from the monetary system, which has also never hasn't happened to this degree in like decades, 20 years, really the 80s and 90s. I mean, the monetary policy hasn't been this crazy in a long time. Anyways, apart from that, we have a crypto fear and greed index. It's at 20. We are getting some positive price action with Bitcoin. We're getting some bouncing going on right now. Everyone's been calling for 10, 12, 14K. I am maintaining what I said earlier. I think we are in a consolidation bottom. Maybe we go down for another 17.5 retest, maybe 16. I doubt it though. And now, like what would cause that is if the stock market does break its levels right now, that could happen. But the stock market is currently teetering on its 200-week moving averages, which I pulled up before. We'll pull up again right now. This will be the Nasdaq. Yeah, so it's riding the 200-week moving average. Now, if I was Powell, if I was like the Fed, what are you gonna do to try to cool the markets down, bring it down to the 200-week moving average? They probably don't want it to come down much further than that. And I mean, even looking back, I mean the pandemic. Look at that. I mean, pretty amazing actually. This is the weekly chart, like zooming out. This was the March 2020. Is that the March 2020? Yeah, that's the March 2020 crash. This is December 18th. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe we go down. If we go down, it's gonna be really ugly, and then you might see the 10, 12K Bitcoin. I just don't really think it's gonna happen, but if it does, it does. And then you'll get really cheap Bitcoin if you could buy it. Yeah, past that, I'm not really expecting that 12 to 14K range. The more people start saying it, the more I'm like, I doubt it, you know. But that's Nasdaq, and all the rest are pretty much saying the same thing. And let's bring up the Bitcoin chart if we can. If we can get it. There we go. I'm just going to take a look at some of the indicators and see what we have. The 200-week moving average is really what we want to get above. And we're still pretty far away from it, unfortunately. But the weekly RSI is still in the oversold levels. The stochastic weekly is a little bit concerning, like it being that high, but it could stay high for a while. But it's like it really needs to get a move on. I don't really like the stochastic being like that, and I don't really like it being below the 200-week moving average, which is at about 22, 23, 23K. Let's check the daily. I'm just looking for divergences. I'm looking for anything that would give us an indication of what's going to happen here. Now we are getting some volume here on this spike. That's very interesting. Zoom in a little bit more here. Yeah, we got a lot of volume that just came in. And when you get a big volume spike like that, usually that will dictate, like if it's a big red volume spike, selling spike, that means you'll probably be going down. If you get a good big green volume spike, that'll often dictate that you're going to start going up. So it's reason to conclude that we will probably be going up, especially if this everyone was drawing the head and shoulders on this, which is a bearish pattern. If we come up and consolidate above, that will invalidate that bearish pattern in a larger bearish pattern, which would indicate a shift change, a momentum change. So that would be a very good thing. That's a lot of daily volume right there, which is a very good sign. Very good sign. But there's still room for the dailies to run. Plenty of room there, so that looks pretty good. I'd pay more attention to that, the daily stochastic, than the weekly stochastic. Weekly stochastic RSI is not very indicative of anything, in my opinion, when I've looked at it in the past. 4 hour, it is a little bit maxed out, but it could stay up there for a while. You can probably create a flag or a little falling wedge and then come back on up. It would be great if we can get above 20K. That would be the big push. So hopefully we can get there. Again, this is a lot of volume, so that looks pretty good to me. I want to go on the 1 hour just real quick and just 1 hour is not a very good trade on. I think you really want to look at daily and 4 hourly. Some people use the 6 and the 8 hours, 12 hour. So hourly is also maxed out. So yeah, we're going to cool off probably here for a bit before the next move up. So there's that. I don't know if there's really anything else to really say. I mean, the Dixie is just completely overbought, overshot, and all other currencies, the British pound is completely collapsing against the U.S. dollar. And all those people know each other. Powell knows them. They don't want to. I don't think they want to crash each other's currencies to that degree. So I think a cool-off period with the U.S. dollar, possibly just you start going down and losing market share, I think makes the most sense. We have elections coming up. Pretty much it's almost guaranteed that the next one's going to be 50 instead of 75, which also indicates that they're going to start breaking on the aggressive monetary policy. And on top of that, I mean, I bet the next inflation CPI data will be very bullish. Like bullish as it means coming down. Like I bet they'll realize they actually probably went too far with these interest rate hikes. But that'll be seen in the next few weeks. Elections are coming up, and they don't want to mess up the elections. They don't want to crash the market right before elections. So unless something really crazy happens, an invasion or attack or something like that, I would say if we're going to get a crash, it's going to happen after the elections. If those in power right now stay in power, I bet that would crash the markets because it would be obvious to me that they still rigged the election or something. Anyways, that's why we need blockchain. Blockchain will create transparency. Election records would be perfect use case. Blockchain would be a perfect use case with election data. Completely, you cannot manipulate that data. So I just think that would be a great use case. Past that, I think that's about it for me tonight. I just want to start getting the routine of doing this again. This summer was very brutal for me with my job and crypto. I was hoping to not have to do my job anymore, but the markets decided I needed to save more and keep working. So maybe next cycle I'll be able to go full-time crypto. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, hang in there. There's some great projects. Cardano is just had their Vassal hard fork. Ethereum did the proof of merge, the proof of stake. Unfortunately, mining has really lost traction. All my miners are currently off. We'll have one going just to see what's happening, but it's clear that there's no real profit to be made at the moment until the algorithms readjust and maybe other coins start pumping to be able to create more profit. Not sure how that's going to go. I keep saying I want to make more content about mining, but until I see real results on that, I might hold off on that for now. But everything is going well with that. The merge seemed to do well. Cardano, their Vassal hard fork went well. XRP is pumping because they're winning the case out. There's a lot of bullish things happening, and it's placing just right. I mean, everyone's talking about everyone thinks this thing's going to drop, and this just reminds me so much of 2018, that bottom, that 3K bottom that we had in 2018. Let's pull up. It just reminds me so much of the 2018 bottom. Everyone was like, oh, it's going to go down to 2K, it's going to go down to 1K. Like, it just feels so much. And then you can even look at it in the charts. Like, this is it. This is that area. Same things were being said. Everyone was just being so bearish. RSI was at the same levels. We're right here. RSI right there. I mean, it's just it just rings way too true that this is a very similar situation as to that. And it just makes sense that we maybe have a few more weeks of consolidation. I bet October is bullish. I bet October, November, October in particular probably bullish. Elections might get a little tumultuous, and we'll see what happens at the end of the year. I don't know, man. I don't know what camp I'm at. Like, will the markets correct down or more? I don't know. Will we go into depression? I don't know. But this is when everyone's calling for an end, for a drop. I don't think it's going to happen. So we'll see what happens. Just hang in there, and I'll check back in. If anything happens tomorrow, I'll make another video. Until then, peace out. Hodl on.